calls for the leaders. This calls for the individuals that literally give it their all. This call is for the people that have put people before profits since day one. This call is for the individuals that are always pouring their cup out in order to fill the cups of other individuals. This call is a call for those individuals. This isn't a motivation call by any means. This is an encouragement call. This isn't even a dedication call. This is an encouragement call. And this is an encouragement call where I encourage you and I teach you how to continue to encourage yourself. The first half of 2020 has been absolutely unreal. Literally absolutely unreal. I cannot believe the breakthroughs that we have had within an organization. You see, it was just January of 2019 where we had about 50,000 active subscribers inside of the organization. Today, just shy of 250,000 active subscribers in a 17-month span, which means that we have been developing the organization, which means that, and when I say developing, I don't talk about development of numbers. You see, when we talk about numbers, we talk about production. Here, I'm talking about development, right? John T. Maxwell talks about the difference between the two. Production is focused on numbers, but development is focusing on developing the behaviors and the mindsets of other individuals, habitual patterns of other individuals. And if we've experienced growth like that over the past 17 months, despite, I don't even want to talk about it from a network marketing perspective. I want to talk about it from an entrepreneurial perspective. To be able to scale your business in a 17-month span 4 times the size of what it was, you see, that's astronomical. Now, what I come to the realization is that both of the growth goes hand in hand with the development of the organization, the development of the leaders inside of the team, right? And it takes a lot, man, it takes so much to be able to develop somebody. People are always asking, Matt, can I get mentorship? Matt, can I get mentorship? Matt, can I get mentorship? Jason, can I get mentorship? Bryce, can I get mentorship? And we try our best to give it to absolutely everyone that we possibly can, but mentorship is taxing. If you're a leader on this call, if you're somebody that has spent your time investing in other individuals so much to the point that you feel like you've forgotten about yourself, this call is for you. If you're on this call right now and you feel like you're running out of gas, well, this call is for you. And I hope that during this call, you guys are taking notes. Where are my note takers at? Where are my note takers at? Let's see it in the chats. Where are my note takers at? All right. I hope that during this call, you guys are taking notes because this is information that you're going to be able to go back on and really, really study it. This isn't information that I made up myself. I wish I could take credit for it. And the person that taught me it, I don't think that they made it up themselves either. That's how you know that it's duplicatable, and that's how you know that it's sustainable. The individual that taught me this is an individual by the name of Mr. Rich Wilkerson. He's a pastor of a church out here called VU Church. I was on a leadership call with him this morning. He's mentored by none other than Mr. John C. Maxwell, one of the biggest thought leaders inside of our entire industry, in and outside of our entire industry. And I was on a call with him, and we were talking about leadership and how leadership is so hard because every time that you turn around, every time that you look to the right, you look to the left, you realize that there's just crisis all around you. You realize that people are bringing you their problems. You realize that leadership, chairman, P5,000, P2,000, P1,000, it's not just a rank, it's not just a title, it's a responsibility. You realize that literally people are coming to you guys as their therapists. People are coming to you guys with their problems. People are coming to you guys hoping for you to be able to change something, right? And within leadership, we're always encouraging individuals so much to the point that we forget to encourage ourselves. You see, when you forget to encourage yourself, that means that you no longer have hope. And a leader without hope has nowhere to take other people. For my note takers, I'm going to say that again. A leader without hope has nowhere to take other individuals. You see, as leaders inside of this industry, we're so much more than leaders. We're hope dealers. Think about what it is that you got started in this. This does not pertain to everybody, but I know it pertains to the people like me. I know it pertains to a lot of individuals on this call. Think about the trials, the tribulations, the struggles that you were going through when you found out about this business. I know for me, I was on my last dollar. I had $163 inside of the bank account. I got started within this business. Well, this was back in 2012. My previous company. You see, think about the heartache that you were facing. Think about the doubt that other individuals have given you. Think about the excuses other individuals have given you, right? And with all of that, other individuals are experiencing those exact same things. And a lot of people are joining this business. They're joining this movement for hope. They hope that they'll make more money. They hope that they'll gain the knowledge. They hope that they'll go ahead and build the network. They hope that they'll learn trading. They're joining this with rays of hope. So essentially, we're hope dealers. But you can't fill somebody's cup if your cup is not full. You know, I've been on, I don't even want to count how many planes that I've been on over the course of the past few years, guys, since I started building this business. And no matter where I'm at, no matter what the language is, no matter what the demographic is, the same thing is said in the beginning of each and every single flight. In case of an emergency, and guys, I don't know if you've realized, but there's an emergency going on in our lives. In case of an emergency, make sure to put on your mask first and then help someone else put on theirs. Because you cannot help somebody breathe if you are not able to breathe yourself. We're an emergency. I'm not just talking about the current events. Guys, we're in a crisis mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And if we do not know how to encourage ourselves, then we have no hope. And a leader without hope has nowhere to take people. You see, guys, life is going to happen. As a leader, you're not expected to be perfect. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, right? You're not expected to be perfect, right? As a leader, you're not expected to always have it together, even though it feels like you need to have it together. We're allowed to stop. We're allowed to grieve on certain situations. If things are pissing you off, if things are not working in your favor, if things are getting very, very stressful, you're allowed to stop. If you experience loss, you're allowed to stop and grieve, but you're not allowed to stay in grief. You feel me? You're allowed to stop and grieve, but you are not allowed to stay and grieve. You got to keep it moving. You got to learn to leave. And the way that you learn to leave, the way that you don't get stuck in situations, stuck in patterns, stuck in mentalities, stuck in misbehaving, wrong mindset, the way that you do not get stuck is that you do not dwell, right? You encourage yourself to keep it moving. You give yourself hope. You see, us leaders, leading is tough, man. Leading is tough. That's why it's the highest paid profession in the world. Leading is the highest paid profession in the world. Influence is the highest paid profession in the world. But yeah, it's tough because when the going is good, leaders get all of the credit. Right? When there's momentum inside of the business, when there's movement inside of the business, leaders get all of the credit, right? When you're rank advancing, leaders get all of the credit. But when crisis happens, they get all of the blame. When crisis happens, now all of a sudden you led us to the wrong place. When crisis happens, well, you're supposed to have the answers. When crisis happens, the leaders are the ones at fault. When crisis happens, when war happens, we're the ones taking the shots. So you can see how it is that our cup becomes empty very, very, very fast. Leaders, where are you at? We're about to hit 3,000 leaders on this call right now. Leaders, where are you at? You see, what I love about crisis, and I come to realize this inside of my life, is that crisis, write this down, crisis doesn't make a person. it actually shows what a person is made of. Crisis, that's going to go over some of y'all's heads. Crisis does not make a person. Crisis shows what you're made of. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you guys 3 things to remind yourself. 3 things to ask yourselves when you're going through a crisis, to bring you back to a hopeful place and to help encourage yourself. Now, here's the thing, guys. We're just about to hit 6 months inside of this year. We have 6 months left. And all those 6 months went like this. 3 of them we spent locked up inside of our houses, but all those 6 months went like this. I want you guys to understand that the next 6 months, it's going to be a journey. The next 6 months, it's going to be a run. The next 6 months, it's going to be a push. The next 6 months, you're going to go through trials. You're going to go through tribulations. You're going to go through struggles. You're going to go through the tough times. You're going to go through that because straight up, guys, it's a rite of passage. But here's the thing. The problem is never the problem. The problem is how you decide to react to the said problem. So I'm going to give you guys 3 simple things to remind yourself of starting right now. Now, guys, I always ask you guys, I every time I come on these calls, I give it 100% of myself. I give it 100% of my energy. I give it 100% of my attention. I give it 100% of myself. I'm going to need 2 things from you guys moving on from this point forward. First and foremost is that you guys are taking notes. You're only going to retain 5% of what it is that you learn if you don't write this thing down, right? The second thing is I'm going to need each and every single one of you guys to teach people in the future what it is that you learn. Maybe they're on your team now. Maybe they're going to join your team. But truth be told, guys, since we're all leaders on this call, each and every single one of us, our goal is to go chairman on this call. And with that being said, since we are leading, maybe you're not even trying to go chairman. Maybe you're leading your household. Maybe you're leading your kids. Maybe you're leading your marriage. Maybe you're leading an organization at work. Whatever the case may be, we are all leaders in one way or another. Some have a higher magnitude than others, but we are all leading or will lead something in the future. You see, what I want you to do is I want you to teach every single new individual inside of your life, anybody that needs this information, anybody in the future. You'll know when the time is appropriate, what it is that you learn. Because in life, it's not just about what it is that you know, it's about what it is that you can teach. So with that being said, my leaders, and you know it's crazy, I would assume I have a good majority of the chairmen inside of Jason and I's organization on this call. Guys, this call's for you. This is how I fill my cup in order to stay abundant for each and every single one of you guys. And it's time you guys learn this secret as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1, the first thing, when crisis happens, when crisis occurs, and it will, there's no way to avoid it. It will. When crisis happens, the first thing that you have to do is you have to remind yourself that you are not alone. You got to remind myself, I am not alone. I'm not alone. Let's type that in the chats. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Let's see that inside of the chats. I'm not alone. There you go. The first thing that you got to do is you got to realize that I'm not alone. You see, leaders are afraid to tell others what's going on. Leaders are afraid to tell others the trials. Leaders are afraid to tell others the tribulations. Leaders are afraid to tell others, hey, look, I'm struggling right now. Hey, look, I don't have it all together. Hey, look, the team doesn't have it all together. Hey, look, we don't know what we're doing trading. Hey, look, we don't know what we're doing building. Hey, look, we don't know. We don't know what it is that we don't know. And because of that, the fact that they're afraid to tell others what's going on, instead of people getting to meet the actual version of you as a leader, you know who they're learning to meet? They're learning to meet a projected version of yourself. They're learning to meet a very projected version of you. You see, they're learning to meet the Matt or the Jason or the Emery or whoever the case may be that is faking the funk. Because you think, because you're a leader, that you gotta have it all together. You see, leaders, you gotta remind yourself, I am not alone. Now, a lot of leaders during crisis, Guys, I want you guys to understand, due to the fact that leadership, when you think about leadership, it's one person leading a group of individuals, right? It's one person leading a group of individuals. A lot of people think that since they are the leader, there's not a lot of leaders inside of a group, right? So they feel that during the crisis, they're alone. But truth be told, even during the success, sometimes leaders will feel alone. Why is that? Because leaders are always thinking ahead of the game. Leaders are always trying to figure out a way to get things done before they even happen. Jason, I always tell Jason, I'm like, man, are we creating problems in our head, or are we being proactive with these problems? You see, although things are going to go good, things are going to go bad, no matter what is going on, understand this, guys. Understand this. People prefer to follow a leader who's honest rather than a leader who's perfect. Yo, let's keep it real. I know I don't fit the status quo for being a chairman 500. I know I don't fit the status quo. I don't look the way. I have tattoos. I've been to jail. I didn't finish school. I didn't study college. I don't come from a wealthy family. I'm not somebody that's always in suits, and I'm definitely not somebody that is 100% polished. But I'll be honest with you, and that's all I can be, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I ask for you guys to be. Stop chasing perfection. Stop chasing perfection. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to get better. And if you can be honest about you getting better, then what's going to happen from there on out? You're going to have people that have your back. Shout out to my chairman. Shout out to the ones that have me and Jason's back. Shout out to those individuals that are waking up every single day saying, Matt, Jay, how far are we from Chairman 750? Shout out to the individuals that are calling us and saying, hey, Matt, I know you're always giving it all. How are you doing today? Shout out to those. You need to build your support system. Shout out to the Emerys of my life. Shout out to the Cash the Greats of my life. Shout out to the Shabazes of my life. Shout out, I mean, there's way too many, the Ivan Briones of my life, you know, the Darwins of my life, the Nenos of my life, right? The Guamins of my life. Shout out, there's so many, over 300. Shout out to those, because they know I'm not perfect, and they don't want me to be perfect. They don't want me to be perfect. They just want me to be honest. You're not alone. Stop placing yourself in a situation where you are alone, especially for my introverts. Stop doing that. Number one, you're not alone. Number two really excites me. You see, number two is such a cliche. Number two is a massive cliche because I've seen it tattooed on people. I've seen it mentioned in churches. I've seen it, someone cutting the onions in here. I'm not crying, you're crying. So I've seen it mentioned in churches. I've seen it mentioned in movies. I've seen it mentioned in regular conversation. I've seen it mentioned everywhere, right? And I forgot, I forgot the importance of this saying. And I think I'm going to remind you, but I'm also going to give you a different perspective. When crisis occurs, this too shall pass. When crisis occurs, this too shall pass. I'm going to say it one more time. When crisis occurs, this too shall pass. Your team is seeing a decrease in numbers. This too shall pass. Your star player just quit. This too shall pass. You just got fired from that job. This too shall pass. You see, nothing lasts forever. Life is a series of waves. And if you look at the beach, every single wave has to crash. This too shall pass. You see, most of our worries that we're going through in life, they're not going to be worries a year from now, some of them a month from now, some of them even a week from now, some of them even a few hours from now. So I know myself, I fill my cup with so much negativity. Sometimes I fill myself with so much doubt. I fill myself with so much anxiety. I fill myself with so many different emotions that are not helping me progress in my life. And I got to ask and remind myself, Matt, do you believe that this too shall pass? This too shall pass. You see, guys, we're never down If you're a leader on this call, write this down. You're never down. You're either up or you're getting back up. Yo, you drop rank, it's cool. It's totally fine. We're never down. We're either up or we're just getting back up. Oh, your volume dropped a little bit. Maybe your volume's staying the same after all this growth and explosion. Nah, it's okay. We're never down. We're up or we're getting back up. We're never down, we're up, or we're getting back up. But you know, on the opposite side of the token, because in life there is balance. Where there's light, there has to be dark. Where there's white, there has to be black. I mean, it's just in life there's balance, right? So on the opposite side of the spectrum, when we think about this too shall pass, I want you to think about the positive in your life. You see, it's not just the negative things in life, but it's the positivity in life as well. We live so much in the future, leaders. Man, I got to make sure the system is perfect. I got to make sure the calls are done. I got to make sure the schedule is taken care of. I got to make sure that the people are taken care of. I got to make sure that this is happening. I got to make sure that this is happening. I got to make sure that this doesn't happen or this doesn't happen. We're such warriors that we lose track of what's literally right in front of us. You know, there's times where I had shout out. I hope he's on this call. My brother Ivan Paychecks came to visit me the other day. Bitcoin hit 9,000, and I started investing into Bitcoin because of Ivan and Mr. Paychecks, Ivan Paychecks, founder of SwipeCoin, and he came to see me just because Bitcoin hit 9K. And what an amazing friend! He writes a handwritten letter, and he says, "I just want to thank you for being an amazing friend. I love you, I appreciate you, and I wanted to buy you a drink during quarantine." And he comes and he drops off a pack of White Claws. And we're on the balcony, and I'm putting out fires, because as a leader, you're always putting out fires. You're always putting out fires. And I'm putting out fires, and I'm looking at my phone, and I didn't realize that I was on my phone the entire time that he was there until he was ready to leave. And I realized I hadn't hung out with him. Somebody that had gone out of their way to do something so nice for me. Somebody that had gone out of their way. Somebody said white girl drink. That's what you always say.
I know.
Somebody that had gone out of their way to do something so nice for me. Somebody that wrote me a hand letter. Somebody that genuinely loves me. I couldn't even get out of my own way and get out of my own head to realize that that moment will pass, and I will never, ever, 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 ever get that moment back. Think about how many moments that have passed in your life. Think about how many moments with people that you love, how many moments that you could have cherished, how many moments have passed by in your life and you not realize them. That kind of makes me think of how many strangers have come in the back of your photos. You ever take a picture and you look in the back of the picture and there's always a random stranger, how many of those? I want you to think about those strangers as moments in your life that are passing by that you don't even recognize, that you don't even acknowledge, that you don't even know are happening. This too shall pass. So the first thing that we ask ourselves always is, or remind ourselves rather, is I'm not alone. The second thing is this too shall pass. And third, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers here. I can only talk about the things that, hey, we're about to break 3,000. Shout out to you guys, for real. I love you guys. I love being on these calls with you guys, for real. This was something that really pulled on my heart to share with you. I think that each and every single one of us are in this season, or about to enter this season, or getting out of this season. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys had this information, the same information that I have, that keeps me going. So I appreciate you guys vibing with me tonight. I know Jay's on this call as well. So Jay, I love you, my bro. You know, this next one, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers. I can only talk about the things that I know. I can only talk about the things that I'm passionate about. I can only talk about the things that I believe in. And I don't care if you believe in God, Allah, the tooth fairy, or whatever the case may be, the universe. I want you to understand something. If whatever it is that you believe in, for me, it's God. But if God is for me, who could be against me? If the universe is for you, who can be against you? If your belief system is for you, who can be against you? Man, it's so hard to let go and let God. I swear, it's so hard to let go and let God. There's so many times where, if you're like me, you need to be in control. You need to you need to feel like you got it. And I don't like to put my problems in anyone else's hands. And sometimes I just gotta let go and let God, because if God is for me, then who is it that could be against me? See, as your leadership grows, you're going to experience different pain. And a lot of that pain is not going to come from inside. It's going to come from an exterior basis. It's going to come from sometimes the enemy of the people that trust you, or you trust the most, the people that are closest to you. People are going to doubt you. People are going to gossip. But as your leadership grows, your tolerance for pain must grow as well. As your leadership grows, your tolerance for pain must grow as well. I want to talk about some of the pain that you're going to experience becoming a leader. You see, if you're going to do anything worthwhile, be ready for people to attack you. If you're going to do absolutely anything worthwhile, be ready for people to attack you. It's going to be the people that are closest to you. Sometimes it's going to be people on social media. Shit, it's even people that were on this call right now as we're talking about something enlightening, as we're not even talking about business here. We're talking about literally helping people, literally changing people's lives, literally changing people's minds, literally helping them believe that much more. And as we're doing that, there's people on the calls that got the information from social media that are talking down, that are talking bad, that are leaving negativity. You see, if you're going to do anything worthwhile, be prepared for people to attack you. But you know what they say, if God is for me, then who could be against me? No man can be against me. You guys understand what it is that I'm saying here? So people are going to gossip about you. That's okay. They did it to me and JB. People are going to spread rumors about you. That's okay. They did it to me and JB. They're going to lie to you. People are going to betray you. People are going to hurt you. People are going to give up on you. People are going to run away from you. The same people that told you, they promised you that they were going to make this thing happen with you, are going to be the same ones that leave your team, go to another company, go to another business, and shit on you. But if God is for me, then who can be against me? Is what you got to ask yourself. You know what I love about criticizers? You know what I love about criticizers? That they're often louder than the celebrators, but they're just like crickets. The moment that you get close, they stop chirping. The moment that you get close, they stop chirping. So guys, I don't care if you have an army going after you. Understand, not only are you not alone, not only do you understand that this too shall pass, but if God is for you, then no man who can be against you. And with those three things, when you take a moment to just sit back and relax and really analyze what it is that I just said, when you take a moment to sit back and relax and really analyze what it is that you just asked yourself, I promise you it's hard, almost impossible. And nothing is impossible, but it's literally almost impossible to not have hope, to not encourage yourself. Guys, I'm not going to jump on a call like this and talk about fundamentals and how many events we should be doing. I'm not going to talk about how to run a three-way call. I'm not even going to talk about how to edify. I'm going to give you what's needed to encourage yourself, so you never got to ask anybody to motivate you ever again, especially through the next 6 months. Because I promise you guys, our goal here within the company is to empower, enrich, and educate the lives of 1 million customers. It's already done. Time hasn't caught up. Our goal here is to create 1,000 chairman 10s and above by December of 2020. It's already done. Our goal is to create $1 billion, and I hate saying that because I know we're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. It's already done.
Done.
What you got to ask yourself is how much of that's going to come from your organization, and are you ready to brace for impact over the next 6 months? Because I know that it's not going to be easy. We got to quadruple the size of the organization in order to make it happen. But look what we did in the past 17 months. We're going to condense it in the next 6 months. And it's not a question of how it's going to happen, because I don't care. When you make a decision, the universe, God, they conspire a theory in order to fill in the blanks. And currently, right now, the blank is being filled in. We got 6 months, squad. That's it. We got 6 months. Look how quick, where did the year go? Look how quick that came. And think about how quick it'll go. But it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a very long one. I promise you guys, I got y'all's back throughout the entire process. So I got some good news for you guys. Jason and I, we've been going ahead and we've been filming a lot of content, right? Frequently asked questions. We just did a new PowerPoint overview, so opportunity overview. Jason just did a compensation plan video. We have how to get somebody launched, how to get somebody started, how to explain the vision. I mean, it's just so much content that we have over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we're going to put it all in a video. And what's going to be really cool, in a website. And what's going to be really cool about that is that you'll be able to log in. This is really going to help you guys with your retention, right? People are going to be able to log in using their username and password from IM. And if they're not active, they're not going to be able to log in and have access to this information that's going to help you go chairman. So this is essentially a go live. This is essentially an IBO Academy that we're making for each and every single one of you guys. This is 5 years overdue. I'm so sorry, guys. We've been busy building these ranks, building these leaders, helping these individuals, but it's finally coming, guys, and we could not be more excited. Be patient with us as we go ahead and we pioneer that for you guys. But it's going to be as simple as the newest individual logs into this platform, give it 24 hours for their username and password to update. They log in, they go through, let's say thevault.com or whatever the case may be, and they go through sections 1, 2, and 3, and then they come back to you. We're going to do the heavy lifting for you guys. One last update, guys. One last update. End your night with gratitude. Whatever it is that you do before you hit the bed, before you put your head on that pillow, for my individuals all inside of UK and in Europe, that's like 2 a.m. right now, and you guys are on this call. Guys, I'm grateful for you guys being here. Practice some gratitude. It's going to be bad. You guys aren't going to be able to go to sleep after this call, because I know I'm fired up. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep, but practice some gratitude. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we're going to see you guys very, very, very soon. Let's show